Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of Oaks Baseball. Here today on June 30th, 2022, the Oaks come down to Santa Barbara, actually come up, to face the Foresters for the second time this week. They will face them again on Sunday. And today, the Oaks riding in on a three-game winning streak, beating the Academy Barons, the Santa Barbara Foresters, and the VC Pirates. Today, the Oaks taking on the Foresters today. Austin, why don't you tell us the keys to victory for the Oaks for their offense?
Yeah, Sammy, we've seen what the offense can do the last three games, a combined, I think, 30-plus runs, 13-3 win we saw yesterday in the non-league contest against the visiting VC Pirates, 11-4 win against the Foresters on Tuesday, and double digits on Sunday against the Barons. So it's really just about staying hot. Yesterday, we saw a lot of guys who we don't normally see, one of which is Gannis, who's leading things off today, and really almost the entire lineup today didn't play yesterday. We had a lot of guys who don't play every day who played yesterday, and they were successful.
And Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about this pitcher today that the Foresters are throwing?
So it's going to be Robert Kranz on the mound today for Santa Barbara. And for the Oaks, the key to him is just being aggressive early. We've talked to Tyler Gannis about it, about how the Oaks have found their most success when they're aggressive in the counts early. So they're going to look to be aggressive against Kranz here.
As you saw Tyler Gannis take the first pitch of the ball game for a ball, and the second pitch of the ball game for a strike. We do apologize today. As you might know, we do have internet connection issues here in Santa Barbara, so the stream might be coming in and out. We are currently recording, and we will have this up probably around once we get home, around midnight or so, as Gannis rolls over to second for the first out of the ball game.
And another thing with the stream as well, once the sun goes down a little more, you should be able to see it better. As you can tell, there's a really bad glare, so most of it's blocked out.
Yeah, nothing we could do about that. This is just where they set us up for the stream. We don't have a great angle as Gavin Grant comes in and he gets hit on the first pitch. So the first base runner for the Oaks is going to be Grant on a hit by pitch. That can't feel too good.
Yeah, that one sounded painful. You could hear the contact on that one, just a fastball straight to the back. And see a little bit of a change in the lineup today. Conejo, who started out as leadoff hitter, then moved down to the 2-hole, is now down in the 3-hole today.
Yeah, and another unfortunate thing about Santa Barbara, we don't have our main man, Cameron Deck, providing us with his patented scouting reports and his pitch velocities as Conejo takes ball one high.
Yeah, it's not the best situation or setup, but we're working what we're given with.
We try to make it work.
Yeah.
Kranz looks in. 1-0 pitch. High again. So Conejo ahead in the count 2-0. Another guy similar to Gannis, he likes to go and attack early in the count. And earlier in the season, he had a lot of success, but right now in a bit of a slump. As he fouls off a 2-0 pitch. That'll get into the crowd, and kids will go around here, get the foul ball. Around here, you get a blender's card for bringing back a foul ball.
And there's that aggressiveness from Conejo ahead in the count 2-0, and the first pitch he likes, taking a hack at it, just fouling it back.
Colin Hynek on deck, playing first today. As Grant was in motion on the pitch, Conejo fouls it off. It'll be a 2-2 count. Conejo a little mad at himself right there. felt like that was a ball that he should have handled. Maybe put it in the gap. The 2-2 from Krantz. Soft roller down the short. No shot at 2. They'll go to first. And the first baseman drops the ball. Carrillo's going to second. Grant will get into third easily. And Grant's coming home. Throw up the line. And Grant scores easily. And the Oaks strike first here in the first inning. 1-0. So rule that an error on the first baseman, I think. He should have had that ball. So Carrillo gets down to second. Grant, a 3-base error. That's not something you want to see in the first inning. And the Oaks strike first, take first blood. And Heineck, he's got a man in scoring position, trying to extend this lead already for the Oaks.
Yeah, and as soon as that one came off the bat of Carrillo, I had a feeling it was going to be a tough play. A slow roller, the shortstop had the charge on, and Carrillo's not a slow guy getting down the line.
As Heineck takes a first pitch strike.
A lot of speed in this Oaks lineup, especially the guy in the box right now.
I wouldn't go that far, but the
Hey.
first three guys got a lot of speed, plus speed guys. You know, stealing a base, Albert Pujols steals bases every once in a while. That doesn't
There's
qualify
only
him as a fast runner.
there's only 6 guys on the roster with the stolen base this summer, and Colin Heineck's one of them. So I think that equals speed, if you ask me.
Yeah, it sounds like wheels to me.
We may have different definition of wheels. As Heineck goes down swinging. Big bounce back at bat for Kranz there. As he gets his second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Big Durf, Brendan Durfee, the catcher today. Durfee having a little bit of success when he's in the lineup. He's not in the lineup every day due to the 5 catchers on the team for the Oaks. But when Durfee's been in there, he really succeeds.
Yeah, currently tied for 6th amongst the team in average, right at 300 in CCL play. That's tied with Jack Brooks, who we'll see today. I mean, I don't know what we are classifying as how many games you have to play to qualify for that, because the guy that's in front of Brooks and Durfee is Maddox Lotta, who we've only seen play in 2 or 3 games now. So
Count evens up at 1-1. Durfee, the catcher out of Cal Lutheran, in his junior year, as he calls for time, granted by the home plate umpire. Our man Austin, a recent CLU grad. As Durfee fouls one away. Austin was the voice of Cal Lutheran sports over the past year. So Austin, I'm sure you know Durfee pretty well.
yeah, I've definitely formed a good bond with Durfee, and it was fun to watch him play this spring. And he had a great spring that he capped off with our tournament for our conference that Cal Lutheran were the underdogs in and won. He was the MVP.
And Durfee goes down swinging. So that's 2 strikeouts for Kranz. 1 run, no hits, 1 left on, 1 error. As we go into the bottom of the first, the Oaks out in front early, 1-0. welcome you back to the Oaks baseball. Oaks out to an early 1-0 lead. Garrett Clark on the mound for the Oaks out of USC. Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about Clark?
Well, we've already seen Clark face the Foresters a couple of times, and each outing was a little bit different. So for Clark, the key today is just trying to throw strikes and miss the barrels of this dangerous Foresters offense. Last time we saw him struggle was when he was getting behind in a lot of counts and either walking guys or just giving up extra base hits. So for him, just needed to throw strikes and force the Foresters to put the ball in play and let his defense work.
And we'll tell you all about the Oaks defense right now. Durfee behind the plate, completing the battery. Zach Dode at third. Gavin Grant at his usual shortstop position, along with his future Oregon teammate Jack Brooks at second base. Heineck playing first. Gannis in right, Carrillo in center, and Tyler Golwacki in left. As coming in for the Foresters is number 3, Miguel Santos, and he'll waste no time, go after the first pitch, and knocks it into left for a base hit, and he'll make it down to second as that ball was hit so slowly. But Dode was playing in, and it just got over his head. Unfortunate for the Oaks. And Glowacki had to go a long way to get that ball and was not able to make it in time to second.
Yeah, and I mean, the grass is kind of uneven and thicker in the outfield, so it slowed down too once it got over the head of Dode there at third, as he was in, expecting a bunt. If he's at his normal depth where he is right now, he makes that play easily, but it bounces over his head. So an unfortunate bounce there for Clark on the first pitch he throws today.
Now up for the Foresters, number 8, Austin.
I'm hitting?
On the roster.
Oh, yeah, their
it has
roster's
number 8
wrong.
No, this is Campbell.
Dylan Campbell.
Dylan Campbell out of the University of Texas.
Yeah, it's kind of a fanboy moment for me as I watched him hit one out in the NCAA regionals to take a lead for Texas.
Fouls it away.
Is this as in you're a fan of him, Josh, or just like it's cool?
Just cool to see his emotions going around the bases. You think of these guys, as like superstars, watching them on TV, and now he's 10 feet away from us.
He's just a man like you and me.
Wow.
Campbell from Houston, Texas. It's actually his birthday here in a couple days on July the 2nd. That ball's high. 2-1 now to count.
Hey, Mac. Is this stream look good now? Okay, thanks.
Clark looking in for the sign. Doesn't have something he likes. Wants to pick it up. Taking a long time. And he'll step off. Long sequence there. Usually you'll see somebody, either the pitcher step off or the batter call time. He's got something he likes. And back pick to second. Oh, and he got him. And the umpire makes the call. Very good move from Clark there. And that'll erase the leadoff double. That's a big play.
Yeah, a great one there from Clark. And weird that we've now seen 2 times in the last 3 games, both being against the Foresters, that they have a runner picked off in the first inning.
Yeah, and a runner on second getting picked off is just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, the old adage is you don't want to make the first out at third, but that's going into third. You definitely also do not want to make the first out getting picked off at second.
No, it wasn't even close either.
No, Brooks put on a good tag too.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything the umpire could have done but call him out. As that ball is high, and Campbell draws a 5-pitch walk.
Sponsored by Doug Scott of the Allison Company. Please welcome the second baseman, number 4, Kevin.
Now up for the Foresters, Number 4, Kevin Bazell. He's playing second base today, but just the other day we saw him catching for the Foresters at home. Bazell, a bit of a utility guy for the Foresters. It's the first pitch. That ball must have been outside. It would definitely had the height to be a strike, but know, from where we're sitting, we don't have the perfect angle on it, so
Yeah, and
we'll
for
just take the umpire's word for it.
you mentioned Bazell playing multiple positions. We've also seen him play third base against the Oaks, so very versatile for their leading hitter.
There's a ball hit up the middle. It'll get past the diving Grant. Carrillo comes up throwing the third, and really a poor decision as he had no shot at Campbell, and that'll give Bazell an extra base. So a single for Bazell. He advances on the Carrillo throw, and it's second and third now for the Foresters with one out.
A surprisingly poor decision there from Austin Carrillo, who's very good out there in center field, always making the smart decision. But right there, he had no shot to nail Campbell at third base, and it was just an unnecessary throw. And the second that Bazell saw the ball leave his hands to go to third base, he was on his way to second.
Stepping into the box for the Foresters now, Griffin Everett, the catcher out of the University of Nebraska. And he's a local Nebraska boy, too, out of Lincoln, state captain. As he takes a first pick strike, and he disagrees with that call.
Yeah, I do as well. That pitch definitely looked up.
Hey, umpire's allowed to make a few mistakes, especially when it's in favor of the Oaks.
Yeah, Everett, the designated hitter, on Tuesday, he went 0 for 3, struck out twice, grounded out, and then he walked in his final at bat.
Ball popped foul across the first base side. Clark ahead 0-2. This is a big pitch coming up for Clark, as he was gifted a one-run lead before he even stepped on the mound. Doesn't want to surrender it so quickly, and if he gets a strikeout here, he could be right where he needs to be to get out of here with no damage done. Ball hits softly. Heineck will field it. Clark got off the mound slowly, and he's not there in time as Everett beats him to the bag. A run scores, and the ball game is all knotted up at 1.
Yeah, and you know, I think the thought there from Clark was that was Brooks going to get that baseball. Heineck stays at home, but we saw yesterday Heineck playing first that he goes towards any baseball that's in his general facility over there at first, and so Clark just gets a bad break as he gets a late break towards first there, unable to get what should have been out number 2.
Yeah, why do you think that is, Josh? You think that's just inexperience at first base?
Yeah, definitely. That's 100% what it comes down to. As an infielder, your just natural instinct is to go for every ball within your vicinity. So it's a very difficult play. It's a lot of communication that needs to go on between everyone.
Peyton Tolley in for the Foresters, and the count is now at 1-1. Tolley out of the University of the Pacific. He is from Elk Grove, California. Number 45, big, tall boy. Looks like he's got a lot of power in that bat. Ball up and away. 2-1 now the count.
Yeah, and I mean, naturally a pitcher's a 6'6" frame makes sense for him. You know, you don't see too many guys of that height normally hitting, but he gets the nod today as a designated hitter.
That ball upstairs, it is now 3-1. Clark just needs to slow down his heartbeat a little bit, get settled in, and get back into this count. 3-1. Foresters have Tolley listed at 6'6", and believe it or not, he's not even the tallest guy on the team, not even the second tallest guy on the team. They got a 6'9" Zach Tonnery and Ben Abram at 6'8".
Yeah, we saw Tonnery on Tuesday.
Bases loaded now for Gavin Cash. And last time we were here in Santa Barbara, Gavin Cash in his first 3 at-bats hit 3 home runs.
Yeah, he ended up being a grand slam short of the home run cycle, and he had the opportunity to do so, but Nick Ringcover was able to record the first out against Cash in his day to keep him from that home run cycle.
And a first pitch strike to the power threat. Those weren't cheap home runs either, boys.
No, it was not. It was not like it was home runs pulled down the right field line. It was home runs cranked to center field well over 400 feet.
As Cash takes the second pitch of the at-bat high, it is 1-1.
Like to see Clark come back with that first pitch strike, as he did here on Cash, but losing control on that second pitch. See if you can find it again.
Ball laced on the left side of the infield. Glowacki coming up throw. One run scores. He's got him beat easily. Another outfield assist from Tyler Glowacki. When are these people going to learn not to run on him?
Anybody ever going to learn?
Yeah.
Don't run on that guy.
It's not even close.
Wasn't even close, especially out of a catcher running. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what the third base coach was thinking.
Sponsored by Finney's Craft
But we'll
House.
take it.
Please welcome the first
That's a big
baseman,
out number
number
2. A run does
14,
score
Higgins.
on the single from Cash. And now number 14, Cade Higgins, in for the Foresters out of Arizona State University. Our friend Cam's school.
Yeah.
Another first pitch strike from Clark.
Yeah, and I know you guys don't like when I talk about the Yankees, but there's this cool graphic they put up when there's runners in scoring
Josh, you can-
position with and they show the guys in the outfield where they rank in terms of their average
As Higgins
throw, I guess, from the outfield,
takes a second pitch strike.
miles per hour, you know, and they give
Yeah.
a traffic light with each. Obviously, Judge has a red light for runners, but I want to know is who are the 12 outfielders who throw the baseball harder than Aaron Judge?
I think Tyler Glowacki's one of them.
Glowacki's
'Cause
one of
Glowacki
them.
could be
Little might
one.
be one of them too. Little's got a cannon.
And Carliner.
Carliner too. We saw yesterday. Fouls away the 0-2 pitch.
So that's what I'm saying. I was going to continue by saying only if we had that technology, we could see where
We'll have to talk with
Glowacki ranks in the CCL. Because
We'll
I
have to talk to someone up and up
Can't
and get that type of technology for us.
I'd be surprised if Glowacki wasn't one.
With 3 assists, yeah, I'd say so.
Is it 3? I think it's 4.
It's 3 at the plate.
Umpire forgot to count.
2-2. That was the 20th pitch of the inning for Clark. As you see him laboring this first inning, not something you want to see. You want to see him get out to a quick start. And a ground ball to Heineck. He's got it cleanly. He'll step on the bag himself to retire the side. And the inning is over. So that'll do it for the Foresters in the bottom half of the first. 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 left on, and 2 runs across as they take the lead 2-1. We'll be right back for the top of the second.
What's up, man? Good to see you, buddy.
We also pick up our game for
Top of the second here. Oaks trying to answer back after the Foresters scored 2. Zach Dode leads off for the Foresters. Glowacki will follow him, and Sharp behind him. If anyone gets on, Jack Brooks will come up. As Dode goes out to the first pitch, fouls it off up the first base line. And that'll be a blender smoothie card for whatever kid gets that foul ball and turns it back in.
I might start chasing them down.
You're a big fan of blenders there, Austin.
I don't know if I've actually ever had one, but free smoothie sounds good to me.
Really? Kranz looks in, fires, checks, swing by Dode. He makes contact. Weak ground ball to the second baseman, Bazell. And he boots that ball, and Dode will reach on an error. Fortunate for the Oaks.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just a result of Bazell being nonchalant over there. He had a routine play and kind of halved his glove there and ended up going up the bottom of it.
As Glowacki steps in.
And, you know, they do the beer batter here. You know, if they strike out, everybody gets a free beer who's over 21 plus. And they made it Zach Dode today, and I guess they don't know what happened yesterday because Zach Dode, 6 plate appearances, 5 straight walks, and then a single. So not sure if that's the guy you want to pick to strike out today, especially when he's the guy on the Oaks who leads in walks and has very few strikeouts.
Glowacki with a similar line. He had 1 hit. And was it 5 walks as well?
4 walks for Glowacki.
4 walks
I think
He
I
reached
hit-
an error as well.
I think I got hit by a pitch too.
No, Dode was the one who got hit by
Yeah.
a pitch. 2-1 count now to Glowacki.
A lot of guys got hit by pitches yesterday.
And the count evens up at 2. Glowacki shakes his head a little bit, doesn't agree with that call. Maybe a little bit inside.
Yeah, the Oaks got walked 17 times last night.
17.
Yep.
Dode goes on the pitch, and ball's hit into right. And Dode will go back to first as the first out of the inning is made.
Number 17, Jacob Sharp.
Pop up into right. That's Campbell making the play. As Jacob Shart comes in to the box. Shart out of Cal State Fullerton. A sophomore there. Shart, not a lot of playing time this summer for the Oaks, but he did make a big sacrifice bunt and a win for the Oaks as he takes first pitch strike at the knees.
Yeah, he had the sacrifice bunt and the walk-off win that ended the 4-game losing streak against the Slow Blues.
The Disney game.
The Disney game and the walk-off wild pitch with David Woodall in the box that scored Jackson Lapiner.
Kranz deals. Fouled off by Shart, and he's down in an 0-2 count.
Yeah, and you know, I talked about Salgado's injury yesterday. Obviously, we don't see him in the lineup today. Also, Lapiner, another guy who's injured, probably won't see him for the foreseeable future as he picked up a pretty rough ankle injury.
Ball hit right back to the pitcher, and he'll turn the double play. A nice play by Kranz, and a 1-6-3 double play to end the inning for the Oaks.
Robert Grant, next play.
As the Oaks go down in 3 batters, Brooks will lead off the next inning. Bottom of the second coming up here in Santa Barbara. Score remains the same at 2-1.
Cafe. Please welcome the left fielder, number 10,
Welcome you back for the bottom of the second inning. Kyle Casper up to the dish for the Foresters as he comes up to a little fly like an eagle. Clark back out there on the bump. First pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one. Took Clark 21 pitches to get out of the first. Hopefully he can cut that down in half as their ball weakly hit to the second base, and Heineck trying to make the play again himself as Brooks fielded it. And Heineck again, you see the inexperience at first. Cost the Oaks another out. Brooks had that was Brooks's ball, and Heineck tried to make the play himself, and Casper will reach on a single. Brooks couldn't beat him to the bag.
Yeah, and I'm surprised after yesterday and even after the first inning, somebody didn't say something to Heineck about just stay at home. Let Brooks make those plays in the hole, and
Yeah, a lot of range from Brooks. Just, he can do it. And Heineck just needs to settle down a little bit, just stay at home. As a sacrifice attempt, Brooks covering the bag. And he's out, and the sacrifice works. That was from Josh Stinson out of Georgia.
And going back to that last play between Heineck and Brooks, that kind of play is one where it just takes reps going over it with your infielder and with your pitcher. And for a summer ball team where they play games 6 days a week, they don't get practice reps like that. The only really ground balls the infielders get are pregame during batting practice, so there's really not that much time to communicate that.
Yeah, and it's really tough for the Oaks as they don't have an everyday first baseman
yeah, and
to
well,
even get those game reps in.
yeah, I mean, the one guy coming into this team to be the first baseman was Noah Carliner, and now he'll be transferred to New Mexico State in the fall, and he'll be becoming an outfielder for them, so that's why we saw him in left last night, and so there's nobody who's a traditional first baseman now.
Ball in the dirt, nice stop back there by Durfee. 2-0 now the count to Miguel Santos.
Yeah, and Durfee's another one of those guys who we've seen taking reps over there at first base. He's catching today, but it seems like the majority of the first base action is going to be between that catching combo of Heineck and Durfee, with Tyler Gannis mixing in there as well.
2-0 pitch from Clark. At the knees, strike one.
Yeah, and I mean, as we start to get into the season, I'm sure, there's guys, the pitchers are starting to, get familiarized with certain catchers and probably asking, hey, coach, can we get this guy behind the plate for me today? And so, we see Durfee play first, but, guys could be asking for Durfee behind the plate. So got to try and get a guy that can play first base when Durfee's behind the plate, and that's been Heineck so far.
As Clark falls behind in the count 3-1.
Yeah,
And the unfortunate thing for the Oaks, too, is that Durfee has been probably the best defensive first baseman as well as the best defensive catcher. So where do you put him?
Yeah, we've seen Gannis find a lot of success at first base as well, but we know that he's a traditional outfielder.
One of those pitches must have been called a strike, as that was the third ball. Can't really
I thought
hear
that
the
was
umpire make a
I
strike.
thought that was the second ball. I've been
Yeah,
behind.
I had
I've been
two, too.
behind like one pitch like every single at bat. It seems like
Got to
Toad.
snap out of it here, boys.
he messed up the count earlier.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Ball 4 to Santos as Campbell comes up again. Campbell walked his last plate appearance. We've seen command issues be a big problem for the Oaks, as that is already Clark's third walk of the ball game, and he's only made one out here in the second.
You want to see Durfee go out, talk to him, and while we wait for this quick mound visit, we're in between innings. We'll go ahead and put the socials in the chat for our Instagram, Twitter, now our TikTok. First TikTok video went live today. We had some high quality content by all three of us yesterday on Instagram and Twitter. We had some new segments arrive. Our first co-play of the game yesterday as well, and the new TikTok today. So the content is flying from the Oaks.
Ball at the knees, strike one. Yeah, we're just trying to get as much content for you guys as possible. Try to get you guys to learn about these players as much as we can over the summer.
And the coaches, some of them don't want to answer questions. We'll get to them eventually.
I think you guys are just a little intimidated by Coach Scott Radinsky. As that ball line down the third base line, just foul. That ball looked like it almost wrapped around third. We got a good angle of it, but it landed foul.
Well, I told Coach Radinsky he doesn't need to worry about anything because, I mean, we have another Scott Radinsky on the team who can just answer all the Scott Radinsky questions we need.
And we also, if you want to see footage of Scott Radinsky, you could probably just find some YouTube clips of him talking during MLB interviews as he played 12 years in the show.
3 years for the Los Angeles Dodgers. A lefty out of the pen. Sub-3 ERA in his Dodgers career as Campbell fouls one off to the first base side. Another foul ball.
You hear that? You could hear the kids running away. You heard that?
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids. They
You've
want that
seen
blender's
it.
card.
You've seen Clark have trouble finishing guys off. A lot of foul balls and 2 strike counts.
Yeah. It's just been tough here so far in Santa Barbara. You know, 5th game we've played. The Foresters now 3rd time here. We lost both here, won both at Sparky Winston Field at home.
Campbell lines one in there. Glowacki is there, and he'll make the play for out number 2.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Sammy, how Clark hasn't been really putting anybody away. A lot of foul balls. And that's because he really hasn't been able to land that breaking ball. We're seeing him miss up a lot with the breaking ball and with the off-speed, with the changeup. He just hasn't really been able to get on top of it and make those pitches competitive. And even with that 0-2 breaker, he hung that for Campbell to rip. So he's been trying to rely on the fastball too much because he hasn't felt the breaking ball.
Yeah, line drive into left field, caught by Glowacki as Bazell comes in again for his second at-bat of the game. He singled in the first on that tricky play that Heineck tried to make that was ruled a single. Could have been an out if Heineck maybe let Brooks take that ball.
And once again, we see Clark miss with the first pitch off speed. Just can't find it.
That ball lined in the center. Should be no problem for Carrillo, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So a couple guys on for the Foresters, but no damage done. So 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left on. And the score remains 2-1 in favor of the Foresters. We'll be back for the top of the 3rd. Brooks, Gannis, and Grant, the Oregon Ducks, for the Oaks leading off.
Second baseman, Jack Brooks.
We welcome you back for the top of the 3rd. Jack Brooks leading off for the Oaks, as we'll have our run of Oregon Ducks leading off the inning for the Oaks. Brooks has been having a lot of success, both at the plate and on defense, as he takes the first pitch ball up. These Oregon guys making a big difference for the Oaks.
Yeah, the Oregon players have been some of the biggest contributors, with Tyler Gannis holding it down in the leadoff spot and Grant holding it down at shortstop. And we've seen Brooks as the everyday second baseman as well, even working himself in the leadoff spot yesterday.
Brooks ahead of the count, 0-2. Ball is up. 3 balls, no strikes. So you got to assume the take sign is on here for Brooksy, as hopefully he can work a leadoff walk. That ball right down the middle. Brooks had no intent of swinging at that. 3-1 now the count.
Yesterday, Brooks flew out, singled, struck out 2 times in a row, then had an RBI walk, and then had an RBI triple to finish his day.
As he fouls that pitch off, and the count is now full. As we said, Gannis is on deck out of the University of Oregon going into his junior year. The payoff pitch is low, and Brooks gets on.
And on that walk, you could hear the support from Tyler Gannis of his future teammate, Jack Brooks, future collegiate teammate, just praising him for the quality at bat and for getting on.
Yeah, just hit him with an outstanding, dude. Or Tyler Gannis, as PA announcer here announces.
Did you say oak standing?
Huh?
Did you say oak standing?
No, I said outstanding.
Oh man, I don't know.
Dude,
about
just
you.
calm down.
I don't know about you. First pitch is a ball.
Outstanding would be pretty funny.
You're known to make a bad joke or two. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you said.
I was quoting what Gannis said. He said outstanding.
Yes, he sure did.
The sun's starting to get blinding.
Yeah, it's a little brutal right now. The 1-0 Gannis
That's a fair
lines
ball.
down the third base line. That's a
Get on the
fair
move,
ball.
Brooksy.
Brooksy on his horse.
He's gonna score.
He's going to score easily, as Gannis with an RBI double, and he's pumped up. Gives a little fist pump to his Oaks teammates in the dugout. Oaks tied the ball game at 2.
Great piece of hitting there from Tyler Gannis. As we talked with Gannis before the game with our setup, we're right by the on-deck circle, and Gannis, as I've mentioned before, he has a pregame routine, which he told us today dates back since he was 4 years old, where he watches the pitcher while he's warming up. I don't know how he's doing that at 4 years
4
old.
years old. I think he
And
might be telling tales out of court there.
But,
4 years old? Come on.
He said it's just a part of his competitive edge, which would have may even meant when he said 4 years old, talking about competitive edge, probably since he was 4. I don't know about watching the
he might-
pitcher since he was 4, but probably the competitive edge. That makes more sense
exactly.
now that I think about it.
He might
That's
have,
exactly what
he
he's
might
saying.
have that because he started acting at the age of what, 2?
Probably Disney
As
star.
Grant fouls second pitch off. He's down 0-2.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just see he just absolutely cranked that baseball down the line. He did what Dylan Campbell was unable to do and hook one down that line there and just drilled it to the fence for a double. Or
Very
Campbell
good
hit it
piece of hitting
foul.
to keep that ball fair.
And with the wheels of Brooksy, he's easily scoring.
Scored easy. It was very fun to watch him run the bases there. As Grant takes low, count now 1-2.
Yeah, and I don't the one where Brooks fielded it and ran over the first, I got cut off by the pole. I don't know if you saw it. Did he
I thought he was gonna get him.
Did he like
Just missed
stop?
it. No,
No,
he
he
ran
kept
through
going.
the bag. He just
beat
barely
him.
missed him. Gannis on the move, and he'll be out easily. Not a great decision there. I think he thought he had the pitcher's timing down. Ball was low. And again, as we mentioned earlier, the old adage, you don't want to make the first out of third. That's what the Oaks just did this inning.
Yeah,
So it takes an RBI opportunity away from Gavin Grant.
yeah, and Gannis will be upset with that one.
He'll be upset with himself. As
Whoa.
Grant lines one.
Grant just can't catch a break, man.
No, he really.
Lines one back to the pitcher. That ball must have been hit. If we're at home, we would have just saw the exit velocity of that. I'll wager that ball was hit at least 97 to 98 miles an hour, and it just goes right in the pitcher's glove. Gavin Grant just cannot catch a break this summer.
Colin Hynek on deck right now is just shaking his head. He can't believe it either.
Looks at us shaking his head.
There's got to be like some sort of voodoo magic or some ritual that Grant needs to do to his bat for that baseball to fall for him.
Yeah, he needs to talk with Manny Pacquiao's mom. Put some good voodoo out.
Or maybe he needs just a live rooster, like Bull Durham.
Well, I don't know if I go that far, but
That's the only way to get the curse.
I don't know this guy.
I mean, that's how you get a curse off a glove. Yeah, I guess not a bat.
As Carrillo takes the first pitch strike.
I actually just saw something the other day about the unluckiest hitters in baseball, of what their average is to what it actually should be based on the percentage of when they hit the ball. Now you can see what it should be.
Tell us about the Yankee that should be
I was
hitting
about to
400
say that. Yeah.
As a slow roller, bare-handed play by Gavin Cash. Very nice play. Didn't look like he needed to make that, but he overran it just a little bit. Did it with a little style as he throws Carrillo out to retire the side. So a good inning for the Oaks. They got the leadoff man on, followed by a double to drive him in, and they ran themselves out of the inning, so to speak. As the Oaks tie the ball game, we'll come back for the bottom of the third. About that, most likely
there's no Yankee on that list.
Oh, great. Okay, now you can.
You just interrupted me. You didn't even let me keep talking.
Well, the ball was put in play.
I don't remember the exact list, but the one name that stuck out to me was Christian Pache on the A's.
He just got sent down.
And yeah, he's hitting under the Mendoza line, but he was, I think if things went the way they should, his average was 100+ points higher.
That's brutal.
And now he's dropped back down in the minor leagues. And I also saw something yesterday
going from 142 to 242. That ain't that good.
Yeah, but I mean it's better than being below the Mendoza line. You know the Mendoza line's looked at as a standard in baseball.
Just giving a little jab to a former Brave.
Oh yeah.
Mostly for the Hyneks watching it down in Georgia.
But yeah, I mean and I also saw something the other day of somehow somebody had stats of situations of 20 different categories of guys versus righties versus lefties, guys at home and guys on the road. And ready for this?
I'm ready.
Highest ground ball percentage against right-handed pitchers, Mike Trout.
That's
Mike
shocking.
Trout.
And Christian Pache was also on 5 categories of every single one. So, I mean, that probably explains it too, but it just unlucky. And now, as Josh said, he's not even in the majors.
As Griffin Everett comes in for his second at-bat.
I don't even know where that baseball went.
Down the first base line. It went off literally the tip of his bat.
Yeah, it was one that was cute. I was like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
The sun's just blinding right now. That's even with the hat and the easy up.
We need some of these shades that the Oaks have. Very stylish shades. As Everett pops it up,
It's gonna be a tough
Carrillo
one.
coming in hard. Didn't see him call. He called off Grant, and Carrillo makes the out just off the
Well, yeah.
infield dirt to retire the first batter of the inning. First time Clark has done that today. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm on? We're just talking through a little technical difficulties. Ball fouled away by Tolley. 2-1 now the count.
Yeah, no, Sammy, nothing's perfect for us here in Santa Barbara.
All right, what's the
Yeah,
count, Sammy?
It's always a mission.
You say 2-1?
2-1, I believe the count is.
Got
as
you.
Tolley fouls off. The third pitch of the at-bat.
And we apologize if the stream totally looks more laggy now. It won't be as substantial. We just changed Wi-Fi network, so
2-2 the count to Tolley. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Ball thrown around the horn.
really loved the way how this inning has started for Clark. He's done what we were hoping he would do in the first 2 innings, just pound the zone early and get ahead, and he's found success doing that.
As Gavin Cash steps in, we saw him make that bare hand play to end the 3rd inning for the Oaks.
Yeah, and he was the one who reached on the single to Brooks, I think. Or was that last inning?
Yes.
And there
No,
was
I
that.
believe that was Casper.
Or was Cash the one where
Cash lined one in the left.
he
for an
beat-
RBI.
Yeah,
yeah.
he ripped on the left.
Wow. First time I actually heard the umpire call something there.
And I like how Clark's commanding the breaking ball better here. That's back-to-back breakers. First one drops in there for a strike. This one just misses outside, as the umpire kindly let us know.
Cash thought about that one, held up. 2-1 now the count.
And there's the breaking ball again. And Clark gets on top of it, tries to get the chase there, but doesn't. Either way, you like that miss better than the one way upstairs.
Ball rolled over to Brooks. Easy play for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Clark. You'd love to see that.
I was waiting for Heineck to break for that one, too.
I love those hands of Jack Brooks. So clean over there at second base.
Yeah, it looks almost as good as Coach Joe during batting practice. So the score remains 2-2 at the end of 3. We'll be back for the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th for the Oaks as Colin Heineck will lead off the inning. Heineck struck out in his first at-bat.
And one of the few guys who liked his walk-up song on Disney Day.
Yeah, and Heineck's also one of, actually probably the only guy that'll look up at us before he goes up to bat when we're at home in Kowloon. And here he'll just turn around and have a conversation with us before he gets up there.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure if we tried talking to guys, they'd probably talk to us, but I try not to talk too much. Want to let them stay in the zone, get us a win.
As a first pitch was definitely low, but called a strike. Back to your was the only one to like the Disney song. I don't know if he liked it necessarily, but
He
I
told
think
me
he
he
was
liked
just
it.
laughing out of disbelief as that ball's popped up. A little trouble for the Forcers as they can't pick it up, and that ball fall foul.
That was impressive, though. He scooped it while he was sliding.
He did.
Yeah.
He did, but
Wasn't fast enough to catch it, though.
Almost isn't gonna do it for
That's
you
correct.
here.
We're not playing hand grenades or horseshoes here.
Gotta
Too
be
slow,
quicker-
young
gotta
buck.
Be quicker than that, Josh. 0-2 the count now to Heineck.
You know, Josh is a few years behind me age-wise. You know, you too, Sammy. He's a little behind us on the punches.
As Heineck goes down swinging for the second time today. And Brendan Durfee will come up. He also struck out in his first plate appearance.
Someone just said behind us, Mike Trout up to bat.
That's just because of the 27.
I would presume so, because
Yeah.
there's nothing else about Durfee that resembles Mike Trout.
Except for his
Durfee
talent.
grounds the first pitch foul. He's got a similar build from afar.
Wow, that's
I mean,
You-
Trout is
you
just
know, I mean,
one thing of muscle.
Trout's all muscle. We're not trying to throw any shade on Durf, but not as muscular as Mike Trout, but who is? As he takes a pitch high for ball one.
the kids behind us really think Durfee is a left-handed version of Trout. And I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
keep talking
to be honest, this doesn't surprise me because last time we were here, some kids thought it was Christian Yelich.
Maybe it's that same one, Austin. Is that him?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't know who's telling the truth anymore. Durfee.
I told
ahead
you
of the
guys
count,
after that.
2-1.
Yeah, he did, right? He came over to us. He's like, guys, guess who someone just thought I was? Christian Yelich. Doesn't look.
I was like,
And
Count
I
evens
wish.
up at 2-2.
I wish I won an MVP and was playing Major League Baseball with millions of dollars.
Durfee fouls it off.
And just
Count
on,
will remain at 2-2.
and Durf just got under that one. And a good swing on it, just underneath it.
Yeah, if Durf gets that one again, wouldn't be surprised to see him put it over the fence and right.
Zach Daudet on deck. Kranz delivers the 2-2 pitch. Durfee fouls it off again. Back it to the merchandise tent.
I think they'll reach the tennis courts. You got to be careful playing tennis during the baseball games. Oh, screams
Hear a
from the
little
kids.
child screaming. Maybe somebody got pushed to the ground.
Yeah, Cam's
ruthlessly for
probably
a-
out there trying to
for
steal
a
foul
blender's
balls.
card. Durfee swings at a ball in the dirt. Everett will throw down to first to complete the out. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Kranz as Zach Daudet comes up to the plate. He reached on an error from the second baseman Bazell in his first at-bat of the ballgame today. Donde. That's the
Donde,
first
yep.
time I've
There's
heard
definitely
that.
an N in his last
Yeah,
name.
it's pronounced differently every time.
I think this PA announcer has pronounced his name differently every time. Daudet goes after the first pitch, skies it on the right side of the infield. The first baseman Higgins will make the play to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. And the top of the fourth, we'll be back with the bottom of the fourth. Score remains tied 2-2. welcome you back. Bottom of the fourth, Cade Higgins will lead off for the Foresters. Some
people are enjoying tacos behind us.
Clark had his first 1-2-3 inning last inning. We'll see if he can duplicate that as he gets a first pitch strike.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there.
Yeah, that was the big difference we saw last inning, is Clark was able to land that breaking ball for a strike.
That ball runs inside and hits Higgins right on the meaty part of the arm. May have a little bit of a bruise over that, but I'm sure he would take that as he gets on to lead off the inning, as Kyle Casper now comes in for Foresters. Casper in his first plate appearance hit that ball to Heineck. That could have been a ball tailor-made for Brooks, and he got ruled for a single. One of the singles maybe he didn't earn, but he'll take, as he couldn't hold up on that one. Nasty breaking ball from Clark.
And another first pitch breaking ball for a strike from Clark. He seems to be getting control of that breaking ball as he works further into this outing.
As a kid yells in my ear, strike two.
He was just
a little bit low, caught the bottom of the kneecap.
He was just letting you know Jake's here.
Yeah. I don't know if I care about Jake, to be honest with you.
What if it was Jake from State Farm?
Really don't care.
We love Jake from State Farm.
Ball just misses outside as Durfee gives a sign of approval to Clark, tells him to stay there. That was a good pitch. Good location, 0-2 count. Maybe you get a chase.
Yeah, perfect spot, perfect fine spot as they call it. Not good enough to hit, and just a couple inches off the plate.
Ball misses high, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, we've seen Clark get a good feel for the breaking ball over time, but he still hasn't really felt the changeup as he continues to miss up and hasn't really been able to get on top of that pitch.
As the sun begins to go down here in Santa Barbara, you should be getting a better picture on the stream. Runner in motion, ball, that's trouble. It drops, and the runner went all the way back to first, and that's a fortunate break for the Oaks as Jack Brooks throws it over to his future Oregon teammate Gavin Grant. Good break for the Oaks there, as that'll go down as a 4-6 fielder's choice.
Yeah, and that was a really nice play from Brooks, too. He went jump throw the other direction as he broke for that one after he went to second to cover for the stolen base, and able to just get lucky as Higgins thought that it was going to be caught, and he had to start retreating to first, and then he's just hosed by Brooks at second.
Josh Stinson steps into the plate. No official at bat as he laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Ball in the dirt, smothered by Durfee, 1-0 count.
Yeah, it was really pretty push bunt from Stinson in his first plate appearance.
Yeah, back to Higgins. Just a tough spot for him as he was in motion, and a ball, as Stinson fouls one off. Ball hit in the air. If you're in motion, you have to just break it back to first. And he just went all the way back to first, and he had really no chance of getting to second once that ball landed.
Yeah, it's just a situation, though, as a base runner, you just have to know where the defense is and the mobility of the defenders. With Brooks breaking to cover there, he had no chance to make a play, and unfortunate for Higgins.
As that pitch looked very good, but wasn't given the call. 2-1 the count. Yeah, that's one maybe you want your base coaches letting you know what to do on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Casper takes the lead off first. Clark looks in, deals. Ball in the dirt. Doesn't get away too much from Durfee. And the count is now 3-1. Stinson in the driver's seat. He'll be looking for one pitch and one location. Looking to drive a ball. Clark still trying to make a competitive pitch. Ground ball could get him out of the inning, but really you just want to throw a strike here. Clark looks in from the stretch. Runner in motion. I think it was ball 4. So
No, I don't believe so. I think they're going to call interference on the hitter and send the runner back to first base. I think he got in Durfee's way.
good call there, Josh. So that will also be ruled a strike. Counts now full, and the runner Casper will have to go.
Is that like equal to 10? What?
So yeah, it looked like Stinson check swung on that pitch, and his full body weight just brought him in front of home plate. So Durfee couldn't follow through on the throw, and as you saw, it went into center field, which is very unlike Brendan Durfee, and now we know why.
Crowd confused as they thought they heard umpire interference, which another check swing. Appeal down to the first base umpire. He'll say he went, so Clark records a strikeout, but on the wild pitch, Casper will move into second. 2 outs now.
I believe the umpire
Hello,
did call
Clark.
interference on himself.
Back to top New York for the Foresters, sponsored by
If he did, that's just.
the shortstop, number 3, Miguel.
The turn.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't even have any idea what to say for that one.
I mean, maybe when
Clown
Durfee
show.
popped up, he might have like bumped his arm into him, which didn't allow Durfee to get a full
That's tough.
follow through.
Santos in for the 3rd time today. He's 1 for 1 with a walk and a double. He also got picked off at second following his double. Clark deals. Ball in the dirt again. Good stop by Durfee. 1-0 the count.
That's all 4 batters we've seen Clark start with an off-speed pitch in this inning.
Clark gets a sign he likes. Out of the stretch. The 1-0. Ball popped up in the air. Looks like Gannis is under it. He'll make the play. Carrillo imitates him, squeezing the glove as well. And you hear a comedian in the crowd call umpire interference on that. Funny guy.
Yeah, really
Just
made us
doesn't
all
know the
laugh.
rules.
Yeah, jeez.
Don't all laugh at once. Side is retired. No hits. 1 left on. End of 4. Score remains 2-2. We'll be back for the top of the 5th. Top 5 for the Oaks. Tyler Glowacki leading off. 7-8-9 due up for the Oaks. That's Glowacki, Shart, and Brooks. All lefties. Kranz starting his 5th inning of work. Glowacki fouls that one off. 0-1 count. Kranz through 4 innings of work. 2 runs, both earned, 4 strikeouts. Couple hits allowed. As that ball was fouled off as well, Glowacki in an 0-2 hole. Kranz deals. Ball well short of the plate. That's one of those old 58-foot breaking balls. And the count is now 1-2. Kranz deals. High, 2-2.
Yeah, we see this a lot from Glowacki. First pitch strike, and then just watches the next 3 balls for balls. And sometimes he does that a lot.
I thought that was ball 3. I must have missed a pitch.
No, he went foul ball, bounced 2 in the dirt. Then he went high fastball, high fastball.
I'm just a mess today.
It's all right.
Glowacki leads off with a walk, and Shart's now up. Shart hit into a double play his last time up. Very good play made by Kranz. Shart shows bunt. Cash comes in crashing down.
Yeah, and Glowacki is the first guy to reach base since Gannis's RBI double in the 3rd, where he ended up getting caught stealing, as the next 5 guys after Gannis was caught stealing were all retired in order.
Shart shows bunt again, brings it back. Ball was definitely low, but called a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Shart just trying to get something going this summer. As we said before, limited playing time. And another pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 now to count.
Yeah, and we were talking about it from yesterday, Sammy. 17 Oaks walked today. Only 2 on balls, 1 on a hit by pitch.
Shart swings and misses for Kranz's 5th strikeout of the day.
That strikeout brought to you by Penny's Crackdown.
Jack Brooks now up to the plate as our triumvirate of ducks will be coming up now. If you can, you guys can't get a good look of it on the stream, but Brooks's jersey on the back of the numbers is all dirtied up. A lot of dirt. I don't know how he did that, as he takes a first pitch inside for a ball.
It's almost like the Justin Turner pine tar that just is always there.
Yeah, it looks like he just drew it on his numbers.
Didn't he slide head first into home too when he scored?
I don't think he slid. I don't think he slid. He didn't have to. Count evens up at 1-1. Glowacki. Humble lead off of first. Kranz looks that way just one time. Kranz comes. Strike 2. The 1-2 now the count to Brooks. Ball in the dirt. Lays off. Easy take for Brooks there.
And good discipline
2-2
from Brooks there.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot already this summer from Brooks. Very good disciplined hitter, and he'll work the count even when he gets down.
The sun is setting here in Santa Barbara, and it is right in our eyes.
That's blinding.
Backdoor breaking ball gets part of the plate, and Brooks goes down looking. Another strikeout for Kranz. That's his 6th, as it'll be up to Tyler Gannis to keep the inning alive. Gannis, if you remember, laced the ball down the line in the 3rd inning for an RBI double. Gannis trying to replicate that, and if he does do the exact same thing, Glowacki with his speed should be able to score, especially with 2 outs. Cash knows that Gannis likes the bunt as he creeps in just a bit. Ball 1.
Somebody just yelled from the dugout, good hands. Be aware of Gannis bunting with even 2 outs here.
Kranz is 1-0. Popped foul. The catcher ever cannot find it, and it's out of play. Over there by the Forester's booth. 1-1 now the count.
Gannis hitting it at the PA announcer to tell him to pronounce his name correctly.
Could be possible.
Ball is outside, 2-1 now the count to Gannis.
And you see just that after that pitch, Gannis looking towards the dugout to tell them that it was a curveball. I don't know if you could see that on the stream, but Gannis moved his hand to motion a breaking ball spin to let the dugout know what he saw.
The 2-1 is high, ball 3. Gannis in the driver's seat, 3-1. He should be looking for one pitch in one location. The 3-1 from Kranz. Low for ball 4.
Great
So-
at bat there from Gannis.
2-on for the fellow Oregon Duck, Gavin Grant.
Same
Grant
mound visit.
absolutely
Lasered.
lasered the ball. I was thinking of a different word there, and then I thought about it. Can't say that over the airwaves. Just hit a line drive right back to the pitcher. High exit velocity, just right in the pitcher's glove. Nothing he can do about it.
I think honestly it was more than a line drive how hard he hit it.
Again, the word I'm thinking of, we can't say it.
Just say laser.
It was the laser.
It was a laser. If someone rings a bell, I don't know if there's a church around, but it's definitely not the top of the hour, but someone's ringing something.
Yeah, they're hitting the bleachers behind us.
The first pitch to Grant, popped up, foul. Higgins has room, and it goes into the Oaks dugout. Higgins
We
couldn't
think.
hang
I
on.
think it hit the tree actually.
Yeah, I think
Into
I
the
think so.
tree. Leaves up there.
So Grant giving a second life via the trees there. I actually saw a play this spring when I was announcing for Westlake High School where a ball went off the tree and was caught. They still called the guy out.
Seriously? Dead ball.
Grant fouls off another one,
Some umpires suck.
and he's in an 0-2 hole.
Great hustle there by the Foresters' little ball boy.
As someone in the crowd agrees with you, Josh. Easy guy to agree with. The 0-2 to Grant. Popped up again on that first base side. We'll see if this one stays out of the trees. And it looks like it got stuck up there for a little bit.
Trees again.
Yeah, you'll probably see Pintard put in a work order for the city of Santa Barbara to trim that tree down.
Yeah, we're gonna when we're back here on Sunday, all of a sudden that tree's gonna be actually just completely gone.
Yeah, they might take it down.
Or it's just gonna they're gonna tell him like we can't cut it or remove it because it's so old, and he'll tell them.
It's got to be a historical landmark
They'll-
here in Santa Barbara. That tree's got to be. We're talking about a pregame. It's got to be.
Well, there's
at
only way to.
least
There's
north
only
of
one.
5,000 years old.
There's
We
only
don't
one
know.
way to know how old it is.
How?
Gotta cut it
Grant
down.
swings at a ball in the dirt.
Check
As
the ring.
Kranz strikes out the side, not in order, but the Oaks leave 2 on. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left on for the Oaks. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, score remains 2-2. We're back here in the bottom of the fifth. Campbell up for his third time. He'll take a first pitch strike.
Campbell, right fielder. Apologize.
Clark still in there for the Oaks for his fifth inning of work. Clark laboring a bit, but he's turning out a pretty good outing as a broken bat to Dode over at third. He throws across the diamond to Colin Heineck for out number 1.
Now batting for the Foresters, sponsored by Doug Scott of the Allison Company. Second baseman number 4, Kevin Bozell.
Hashtag firewood. That's all I have to say about that, I bet. How do you
Clark
feel
once
about
again getting the
your
leadoff man
fanboy,
out.
Josh,
Dylan
just
Campbell?
breaking his bat?
I mean, I feel bad for him because his hand's probably hurt.
Oh.
But good job, Garrett.
Can roast some s'mores tonight.
That ball looked right down the middle to me. To Bazell, but he
Was it a ball? I looked down after the pitch.
He called
it a ball?
He called it a ball.
Oh.
I personally thought it was a ball, if I'm being honest. The way I saw Durfee move his glove.
2-0 now the count. Bazell, he's 1 for 2. A single and a line out to center. As that pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 now the count. Clark deals in the dirt. Good stop by Durfee. 3-1 now the count. Clark looks in, likes a sign, the windup, the pitch, popped up. Durfee looks for it, but that ball get out of play as the count goes full.
That was scary. I never saw that ball, and it looked like it was right in the direction of us, and it ended up landing right over our heads.
We got easy up
It's
above
fine.
us.
We got the pop up right above us.
Yeah, true.
I couldn't pick up that ball either as it went straight into the sun, and I have no idea where it went. The payoff pitch is laced up the middle for a single. As Bazell gets his second hit of the ball game. The catcher Griffin Everett up for his third time.
The catcher up now, especially Clark, definitely looking to get a ground ball here.
Clark gets a sign he likes the pitch. Popped up. Gannis is there. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So first pitch out for Clark. A pop-up into right field. Peyton Tolle now in for his third plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. 6'6" man out of Wichita State. Ball 1 is high.
Remember when Wichita State was just unreal at basketball?
Yeah, they were undefeated heading into the NCAA tournament until they choked. Second round, I believe.
That's what happens when you play in small conferences.
Ball hit to Grant. He'll go over to first to Heineck to retire the side. Another easy inning for Clark there as he has found his groove after struggling through the first inning.
Longest outing by far for Clark so far.
At the end of 5, 2-2 tie ball game. We'll be back for the 6th. Welcome back. Top of the 6th here in Santa Barbara. New pitcher in for the Foresters, number 18, Luke Harrison, making his summer debut out of UT, the University of Texas. So the book is closed on Kranz. He went 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, a couple of hits given up, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned.
Yeah, Kranz looked good today. Did a nice job of silencing the Oaks bats as much as he could. And he really just got into a couple unlucky situations. Didn't allow too much damage, as Sammy mentioned, only a couple hits, but it was really just an error and then a double from Gannis that was mostly the damage.
Carrillo leading off as he takes ball 1 outside, as the umpire lets us know. Carrillo shows bunt again, brings it back, and he'll take a strike. He looks back to the umpire asking him where that ball was. Don't know if he agreed with the call. Maybe cut the inside part of the plate. Harrison's 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Carrillo again not liking the call, but he's in a 1-2 hole.
And we can't really say if we agree or disagree with Carrillo because our view of the strike zone is not very good, so we can just really see up, down.
I'll take Austin's word for it.
Yeah, I agree.
2-2. The count as it evens up.
Two and two with 22 waiting on deck.
Double deuce.
Oh, double deuce.
Harrison, 2-2. That ball just outside. Looked good from our angle, but again, we don't have the best angle.
I think Colin thought it was strike 3. He just said something.
Just so you guys know, I've been back for a few seconds, but Massimo Vega's in the pen for the Oaks.
And Carrillo works a walk. Tough lefty-lefty matchup for him, but he works back from a 1-2 count to draw the walk. And Harrison now abandons a lefty-lefty matchup for Colin Heineck. Heineck struck out twice against Kranz, so he's got to be glad to see Kranz out of the ballgame, see some fresh blood in there.
And it was a really good day yesterday for Heineck, so maybe the new pitcher will let him get into that groove again.
Heineck attacks the first pitch, just misses it as he fouls it off.
That boy Durf, way to help out the kid.
Harrison leans in, gets the sign, the pitch. Outside for ball number 1. Count evens up at 1-1. You mentioned Heineck having a great day yesterday, co-player of the game, and coming back down to earth a little bit. Tough matchup. Carrillo goes on the pitch, steals the bag easily. Ball thrown into center field. Not far enough to get out of him as the catcher talks to the umpire, talking about maybe Heineck got in his way a little bit. And Pintard will come out and consult the umpire with that.
And that would be unfortunate for the Oaks because Carrillo had that bag stolen either way. And Pintard knows that this might just be like a desperation move from him to get Carrillo back to first. But Carrillo is in there easily.
They ruled to the ball or strike yet?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
I'm not sure. I think it's ruled the ball. I got kind of a view on the scoreboard. It was ruled the ball. 2-1 the count to Heineck as Pintard's begging does not work out. Heineck fouls the ball off towards the Foresters dugout.
And I'll go ahead and give you guys Kran's final line. I'll go down as 5 innings of a no decision, 2 earned runs, 1 hit, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts.
1 earned run.
1 earned run.
2-2 the count to Colin Heineck. Harrison delivers. Ball is high and the count will go full.
Yeah, Carrillo might be going on the next pitch unless Harrison figured out that Carrillo got his timing done. But Carrillo timed that pitch, got the shuffles, had the momentum, but decided not to go. Probably because of what happened with Tyler Gannis earlier.
Harrison only making one look at the previous pitches. He gives him another one. Payoff pitch on the outside corner, and Heineck goes down for the third time today.
Strikeout brought to you by Face Draft House. Now batting for the Oaks, the catcher, number 27, Brendan Durfee.
And that'll bring up Brendan Durfee, the catcher today for the Oaks. Lefty-lefty matchup. Don't see too many of these at-bats for Durfee. As Harrison,
I may be totally wrong, but I feel like Durfee's home run was against a lefty. I have a new scorebook, so I can't look this second, but
as Durfee fouls one off down the left field line, no chance for the left fielder. And the count is now 1-1. 0-2, I'm sorry. Going to be a tough hole for Durf to get out of here on this lefty-lefty matchup. 0-2 hole, Carrillo goes. Ball put in play. To the second baseman, Bazell, and he'll throw over to the first baseman, Higgins, to record the second out of the inning. Carrillo had the base stolen, but he'll end up on third anyway on the rollover. And it'll be up to Zach Dode to drive him in.
And Doda's looking to pick up his first hit of the day after being on base in each of his 6 plate appearances yesterday. And he took just one swing, by the way, and it was his single on the 3-2 pitches last at bat.
That's one.
Strike one for Harrison on Dode. Second pitch, same location, same result, strike two.
Zach didn't love that strike call, saying something to the home plate umpire, but we'll now have to shorten up with 2 strikes.
Looked a little low, but can't really get down on yourself now. As he checks swung, it
Got his foot, I think.
says it got his foot.
That's unfortunate.
Actually,
No.
a tough break for the Oaks, as Carrillo would have scored easily on as the pitch got past the catcher.
no beer for you, Foresters fans.
So now it'll be up to Tyler Glowacki to drive in Carrillo in order to break the tie. Again, another lefty-lefty matchup. Glowacki, not a lot of success against lefties this summer, as he lines one to the first baseman. Tough break, so the Oaks leave two on base. Score remains 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Gavin Cash.
Bottom of the sixth.
Go, Gavin, do something here.
Day is done for Garrett Clark as he turned in a good outing after struggling through the first. It will now be Massimo Vega in for the Oaks. He'll face Gavin Cash to start his day, and he'll start his day with the first pitch strike. Austin, you got anything on Vega for us?
I'm working on it. You know, with these tough conditions, I don't have the stats pulled up on my laptop like I normally do, so I'm working on getting Vega's stuff up. But he's been pretty solid so far this
Ball
summer.
hit over to Heineck. He'll go to the bag himself. 3 unassisted to start the sixth.
Sponsored by the
Yeah, Sammy, we don't got the stats on Vega yet, but I can tell you that he's a strike thrower. He won't blow up the radar gun, but he'll keep it in the zone, and what he tries to do is just miss barrels. Won't strike out too many batters, but gets a lot of weak contact.
The first baseman Higgins now up for the Foresters. Ball rolled over foul towards the Oaks dugout. Another first pitch strike for Vega. So 2 for 2 on the first pitch strikes.
I can't get the stats to load, so I'll give you a Cam Mike scouting report.
Go
He
ahead.
pitches well, finds the zone, gets outs.
Love it. 1-1 now the count.
I feel like we haven't seen Vega in a few days, though.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's been a little over a week since Vega last pitched.
I don't have him in the new scorebook, so it's been at least 5 games.
Vega out of the windup. A little hesitation, Johnny Cueto-like. And Higgins fouls it off. 1-2 now the count.
Because Vega hasn't pitched in quite a few days, we're definitely going to try to stretch him out here, see if they can get a few innings out of him, maybe
That
just be the bridge to the ninth
Funky
inning guy.
delivery fools Higgins enough, and he swings and misses at a ball well out of the strike zone. Ball goes around the horn for the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Vega.
Please welcome the left fielder, number 10, Kyle Casper.
As Casper, the left fielder, is now up for his third at bat. 1 for 2 today. Vega into the wind. The pitch. And a ball that could have been called a strike. Durfee thought it was a strike.
Maybe he missed too far down the middle. Not sure exactly where that pitch missed.
It's a good one, Josh. I liked it.
Appreciate it.
Second pitch from Vega, a little high. 2-0 now the count.
It's my go-to yell at the umpires from the stands when I'm watching my little brother's game. Looking at his cam where these pitchers are missing, he's got a good view, stuck with all the Forester fans back behind the plate.
Third pitch of the at-bat is low, ball 3. 3-0 the count. As Casper will most likely have the take sign on here. Just trying to turn the lineup over with 2 outs. That ball's in there for a strike. 3-1 now the count. Hopefully Vega can work his way back into the count and record an out for a 1-2-3 inning to start his day. The windup, the hesitation, the pitch. Rolled over foul. Count is now full at 3-2.
And then I now got that final line for Clark for you. 5 innings of no decision baseball for him. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, all of which came in the first 2 innings, so he really cleaned things up after that. 6 hits and then 2 runs earned, which both came in the first inning as well, so he really got better as his outing went along.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Vega 1-2-3 to start his day.
Nice battle back there from him.
3-0 count. Works his way back for a strikeout. You don't see that too often. But Vega will take it, and we'll take you to the top of the 7th. We'll be right back. Oaks 2, Foresters 2. We're back. Top 7. Luke Harrison still in there for the Foresters. Sharp's day is done as the Oaks tell him to come back, and Noah Carliner will pinch hit for Sharp. Carliner had a very big day yesterday, 3 for 5, couple of RBIs, 3 singles, and a nice outfield assist that turned some heads, got the Oaks dugout fired up. He takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Carliner definitely an option for player of the game yesterday. Some of the guys not happy that we didn't name him player of the game.
It was a tough choice as that ball gets away from the catcher Everett. 2-0 now the count.
Carliner started off the season slow, but has really found a groove at the plate, getting his average over 260.
Big hack. And he comes up empty. 2-1 now the count. Very big swing from Carliner right there. He's trying to put that one over the fence. Ball's inside. 3-1 now the count.
Good job there by Carliner. As you saw a little twitch from him as at first he was like, oh, I like this pitch, and then he realized it was breaking too far in on his hands.
Carliner fouls off the 3-1 pitch. Count is now full. You see the catcher Everett look back, reach back for a ball for the umpire, and he just throws it to the pitcher himself. Mimics a throw.
Yeah,
Full count now.
that's always something that sometimes bothers catchers.
As Carliner fouls off another 3-2 pitch. And
Good work, Brooksy.
Brooksy tosses one. Tosses that foul ball to the young bat/ball boy for the Foresters. The payoff pitch. Lined into the gap out in right center. Stinson makes a nice running play for the out. So Carliner puts a good swing on the ball for his first at-bat of the ball game. Comes up a little short, but that's just baseball right there. Good play by the outfielder Stinson.
I was very surprised to see him get to that baseball. I thought that was going to find the gap for sure. Great swing there from Carliner, inside outing that baseball into the right center field gap, and a really nice catch by Stinson.
Yeah, it looks like Carliner has turned a corner, and he is looking very good at the plate last couple of games. As Jack Brooks comes up for his third plate appearance of the day. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk and a run on the Tyler Gannis double. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. Harrison, a little bit of a quick pitch there. And it messed with Brooks' timing just enough, and he fouls it off, and he's down to it in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, and that quick delivery there, not only does that get the strike on Brooks for this pitch, it just sets up the 0-2 count where he can mix up the timing as much as he wants.
And he throws a waste pitch in the dirt, breaking ball.
Good job by Brooks to hold up.
Enough discipline to just spit on that ball.
Because now he can speed up that leg kick and go with the breaking ball compared to the fastball. He can slow it down and just try to freeze Brooks with the fastball. He speeds up, goes fast.
Quick pitched again, and that ball is popped up on the left side of the infield. Foresters deciding between the shortstop and third baseman who will make the play. It'll be the shortstop Santos, and that'll bring up Tyler Gannis with 2 outs here in the 7th.
And if I'm not mistaken, is Gannis the only Oaks player with a hit today?
That is correct.
Yeah, Gannis' RBI double down the line is the only hit that the Oaks have picked up today.
First pitch in the dirt goes to the backstop. Forrester's ball boy beats Gavin Grant to the ball. As Grant looks back,
Gotta be quicker.
Austin got a little laugh out of Grant.
another ball. Grant busts down to the backstop. He'll get there. And that ball is his as he tosses it back over to the Foresters dugout.
The hustle there.
Gaddis ahead in the count 2-0. Really like to see that. Look at that first step quickness from Grant. Again, he thinks about going over it. They're both looking at each other, but the ball boy bringing some balls to the umpire, and Grant will get another foul ball.
Yeah, Grant knows who's the boss between him and the ball boy, and so he waited to see if the ball boy was going to go for it, knowing that's his job.
He definitely locked eyes with the ball boy and said, "Don't even think about it. That's my ball." As the 2-1 count to Gannis from Harrison. Harrison will see if he goes with that quick pitch again. Traditional leg kick, and Gannis hits it down the line to the third baseman Cash. He throws across the diamond, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Oaks go down in order. And no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. As we go to the bottom of the 7th to stretch. Tie ball game still 2-2. We'll be back.
And a 2. Take me out to the ball game. Make it happen.
We are back. Bottom of the 7th tie ball game. Josh Stinson up for the Foresters. Vega out for his second inning of work. 1-2-3 inning with 2 Ks in his first inning of the work. Vega matches up with the Georgia product in Stinson. The pitch, a little bit high, a little bit in. Ball 1.
And this is a big out that Vega would like to get here with the top of the order looming. Stinson's the 9 hitter. Vega would love to get him here.
Ball just low. That'll be ball 2. You mentioned the 9 hitter, but just because he's a 9 hitter doesn't mean he has talent. The UT product. Stinson, a lot of talent. Not a traditional 9 hitter for a summer league, as he takes another ball low. 3-0 now the count to Stinson. Fourth pitch in there. 3-1 now the count. I did say UT product. He does not go to the University of Texas. He does go to the University of Georgia. 3-1. Swing. Soft hit ball. Grant is there. Throws across the diamond. Heineck with the stretch. Stays on the bag.
Nice job,
1
Heineck.
out.
Nice job, Grant, too, cutting that ball off and making that difficult throw on the run with this speedy base runner, Stinson.
I don't know the geographical layout of Georgia, but I'm curious if Heineck and Stinson ever crossed paths in their high school days. Do you know where Heineck's from exactly, Sammy?
Heineck's just outside of Atlanta, about an hour away.
Yeah, like northwest.
Stinson out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. The Heinecks in the chat, they can tell us where Lawrenceville is. I don't have a map on me. I definitely don't have it memorized in Georgia.
Come on.
As
You don't?
Santos fouls the first pitch foul. 0-1. Ball ball lined into the left center field gap. It gets past Glowacki. Santos is going to cruise into second with a double. That ball was definitely hit hard, but the alignment of Glowacki allows Santos to stretch a single into a double. His second double of the ball game. 2 for 3 with a walk as Campbell comes in for his third plate appearance. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded out to third base last time he was up in the 5th inning. Vega gets his sign, comes in. Ball is low, ball 1. Vega looks back at the runner Santos, looks into the plate, the delivery. In on the hands, a jam sandwich. Vega will take the ball easily over to Heine for out number 2.
Yeah, that one's got to hurt for sure.
We saw Campbell break his bat on his last plate appearance, and now another ball in on his hands. His hands got to be hurting today. Your hero, Josh.
Yeah, and now we've reached the 7th inning. The sun has gone down, so for the first time today, the stream should be 100% clear. We apologize that it took this long.
Well,
bad sun.
Clear with the fence in the way, but
yeah, as clear as it could be.
As Bazell comes in for his 4th at-bat of the ballgame. He's 2 for 3. Runner on third, 2 outs, the go-ahead runner. Some added pressure for Brendan Durfee behind the plate. He's got to make sure a ball does not get past him, as that'll give the Foresters the lead. The 0-1. Ball low. 1-1 now the count.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, Sammy, Durf being extra careful, taking no chances. That baseball never even reached the dirt, but Durfee still dropped his glove and dropped to his knees to make sure it didn't get by.
Durfee knows this situation. As Vega comes home with the 1-1. Ball low again. Santos getting a big secondary as a ball in the dirt. He's going to want to try and score. As Durfee looks him back a little bit after every pitch. Bazell back in the box. He's comfortable. Vega, he gets the sign. The pause. Out of the stretch. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. 2-2 the count. And this right now is the biggest moment of the ball game so far. The 2-2 from Vega. Lined into left field. Glowacki on the run. He can't get there, and it'll get past him. That'll be off the wall. Ball comes in, not quite in time. A double for Bazell to break the tie. Foresters take the lead 3-2.
Yeah, it's a very difficult at bat there with Bazell, very tough out, but not sure how much I love the call for that breaking ball there. You know, the numbers tell you would love to throw it with first base open and their best hitter up, but we've seen him on the breaking ball a couple times and getting fisted by the fastball, so takes on a hanger and drives it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that one just completely beat Glowacki, but it seemed like he threw up his glove like it was one of those ones that he just must have misread or just didn't get a good jump on. As
Griffin Everett now in. As that ball gets away from Durfee, and Bazell will advance to third. He's having a little bit of words with Zach Dode as he sort of ran into him as he came into third.
Yeah, Dode's smiling, so I don't think it was anything.
No, just a little friendly chatter.
Yeah, and one of those rare ones we see that Durfee can't handle is Vega bounced that one. Just trickles away.
Ball 2 for Vega. See the Foresters cash in on a two-out double to break the tie. It is now Vega's job to limit the damage at 1. He's got to make a couple good pitches and get Everett as the ball comes in and hits him and also gets a piece of Brendan Durfee.
Yeah, that got more than a piece of Durfee. That definitely hurt. That definitely hurt Everett getting hit by a fastball. I think it might have hurt Durf just as much based on the spot that it got him. He's gonna
Coach Dave is gonna come in out here, check on Durfee, see if he's okay.
Yeah, this is more of just giving him a second, I think, because Coach Solis knows where that got him and knows how painful that can be. And Durf's having a laugh about it with the home plate umpire. Not sure how much of a laugh he's having as the umpire is just making sure he's okay.
As the designated hitter, Tolley, comes up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout today. Runners on the corners for the Foresters. First pitch in there for strike 1.
That was really interesting, too, just to see Durfee standing up there. There aren't very many guys who can make Brendan Durfee look small, but Peyton Tolley is definitely a beast up there, towering over everybody.
6'6", as he swings and misses for strike 2. Tolley in an 0-2 hole. Imperative for Vega to get out of this inning now, as he is in the driver's seat in an 0-2 count. This ball should not be near the strike zone. And it's not, it's up and away. Ball 1. Oaks by no means out of this game. Still 6 outs to work with offensively. Only 1 run as of now. Vega delivers the 1-2 pitch. It is smothered by Durfee.
That's a ridiculous block.
The count goes to 2-2.
That block right there from Durfee was insane. That ball bounced in front of the chalk. And I'm also surprised that Everett didn't advance. Obviously, Bazell is going to stay put at third. But Everett definitely should have gone and at least forced a throw.
Well, I mean, Everett not the most fleet of foot. He was one gunned at home by Glowacki in the first, and I'm sure he knows the gun of Durfee.
Ball upstairs. 3-2 now the count. Everett will get a head start now.
Yeah, and this is a scary pitch if you're Vega, because both you and Tolley know that you got to throw a strike right here with Cash waiting on deck. And Tolley's just as scary.
The payoff pitch from Vega. Away, ball 4. So that'll load the bases for the second time for Gavin Cash. We haven't seen a lot of traffic on the bases from the Foresters since that first inning. They only had 2 base runners on at the same time once since the first. And Cash is now up, looking to extend the Foresters' lead. Vega starting to labor out here in his second inning of work.
And this is a scary, scary at bat for Vega.
Strike 1 to Cash.
It's a generous strike call there. That'll really help out Vega. Looked like it missed up.
Vega gets the sign, comes set. The pitch in the dirt, smothered by Durfee again. He lost it for a little bit, but it didn't get far enough for Bazell at third to advance, to try to advance home.
I had to refrain myself from yelling feet there at the dirt when he lost it.
He's so good behind the plate. He blocks everything, especially with the runner on third, and obviously we know he's got the hose as well. And these aren't easy balls to block. That was a spiked fastball, and Durfee made it look easy.
The 1-1 from Vega. In there, strike two. A 1-2 count now. We've seen Vega get to 2 strikes on the last couple of hitters. We'll see if he can finally put somebody away. The 1-2 to Cash. Lined into right field. Gannis has to come in, and it falls in front of him for a base hit. 2 runs will score, and the Foresters' lead extends to 3 runs.
Yeah, that one just an unlucky break there for Vega. That one jams Cash, and he's just able to fight it off to shallow right field in front of Gannis, which results in 2 runs coming in to extend this lead to 5-2 now.
5-2 ball game now as we see pitching coach Scott Radinsky go out there to talk to Massimo Vega.
And unfortunately, we don't have a line of sight to the Oaks bullpen, so we're not sure if there's any action going on down there, but you'd have to imagine that there is, given the situation.
Now batting sponsored by Montecito Designs is the first baseman, Cade Higgins.
Cade Higgins now at the dish after the conference at the mound between Radinsky, Durfee, and Vega. The first pitch of the at-bat, just a bit outside for a ball. Looks like it could have been called a strike. Higgins is the 8th batter of the inning for the Foresters. That ball in there for strike 1. Vega gets the sign, 1-1 pitch. Away for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Inning starting to get away from the Oaks. You really need an out right here to get back in the dugout. Try to cut this deficit down. Maybe tie up the ball game again here in the top of the 8th. As Vega blows a fastball by Higgins. 1-2 now the count.
Assuming that there is action in the Oaks bullpen, this might be the last at-bat of the day for Massimo Vega if he's unable to retire Higgins.
Vega's 1-2 pitch. Cash goes. Back pick over at third. They got him. Great play by Brendan Durfee as Tully got a little too far off the bag at third as Cash was running. Pintard is going to come out and complain as he usually does. But the side is retired. 3 runs come across for the Foresters. 5-2 the score as we go to the top of the 8th. Oaks looking to make a comeback. We'll be back. welcome you back. Top of the 8th. Oaks have 6 outs to work with to get 3 runs, and Gavin Grant will lead off the inning for the Oaks. New pitcher in for the Foresters, Alec Grossman, number 26. Another guy out of the University of Texas. His first pitch, way out of the zone for ball 1.
A lot of Texas natives on this roster.
Grant fouls off the fastball. 1-1 now the count.
Curious if we'll start to see any pinch hitters at this point for the Oaks, especially with still only 1 hit in this ball game, and that was Gannis's RBI double all the way back in the 3rd.
Swing and a miss from Grant. He's down in the count 1-2. Grant, probably one of the unluckiest guys when it comes to the offense for the Oaks. Continues to hit the ball hard, but not getting the result. And he disagrees with that call. He thought that ball was way outside, but he gets rung up.
Yeah, that pitch was definitely framed by Griffin Everett. 100% saw his glove snap back left once that.
Another frustrating day for Gavin Grant at the plate, and you got to feel for him as he's been really hitting the ball hard, but not seeing the results really that he should. And then getting rung up on a ball that he thought was way out of the zone cannot help. As Austin Carrillo comes to the plate. First pitch to him is low. Ball 1. Carrillo drew a walk his last plate appearance, stranded at 3rd. Could have came home on a ball that got past the catcher, but it actually hit Zach Dode. So a tough break for the Oaks. They could have taken a 3-2 lead, but ball just grazed the toe of Dode. And then Tyler Glowacki lined out to first to end that inning. Carrillo takes another ball inside. Grossman delivers. In there for a strike.
Yeah, and this is, usually a situation on 3-1 where we'd see Carrillo hunting for a pitch, but being down by 3, I'm sure it's got to be in that one spot.
And he does get on as that ball was well high.
And I hope
almost above his entire head.
I hope he wouldn't swing at that one.
That would have been a tough look, and he would have definitely gotten some words from his coaches as well as his entire dugout. Heineck now comes up. He's 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. Heineck trying to turn it around.
Time to turn it around.
After his player of the game performance yesterday. Trying to extend this game. Trying to get something going for the Oaks. Thought about it, but wisely laid off. 1-0. Grossman gets the sign out of the stretch. The pitch. High again. Ball 2.
Yeah, and, normally we'd probably see.
As the pitching coach from the Foresters comes out, a lot of balls up, so they're not liking what they're seeing out of Grossman, and they'll go talk to him, try to calm him down, see if he's maybe got it or not. They do got somebody up in the Foresters bullpen. If I had better eyes, I would tell you who is up there. It looks like number 40, Chase Webster, out of Arizona State.
Yeah, I do see a 4. I've yet to see the second number.
Like I said, I don't have the best eyes, so I don't even trust myself right now, but to me that looks like a 40.
Yeah, I got 40 as well.
I got
Thank you, Josh.
I got the umpire right in my view of the pitcher, so I can't see him. I can see a 50 down
100%
there,
40.
but
40 for sure.
all right. So we'll have to
1%.
text our local Sun Devil to give us a scouting report.
from fellow Sun Devil Cameron Deck. The 2-0 to Heineck. Inside, ball 3. 3-0 to Heineck after the walk to Carrillo. Heineck will not be taking that bat off his shoulders on this pitch. And it's high, ball 4. So 2 walks in a row for the Oaks as Brendan Durfee comes up as the tying run.
Yeah, that's 8 balls on 9 pitches. We'll just see a pinch runner for Heineck now.
Seriously, for the speed demon?
It's going to be Scott Radinsky pinch running for Heineck.
Now batting, the catcher number 27, Brendan Durfee.
Radinsky,
See if
the outfielder.
yeah, we'll see if he
Plus
ends up
speed.
staying in.
Scott Radinsky, pinch runner.
See them putting him in at right field and then putting
Another mound
Gannis at
visit for the
first.
Foresters, so that will close the book on Grossman. Foresters not taking any chances whatsoever in this game. They do not want to drop the season series to the Oaks, especially with a 3-run lead.
Richer than you thought you would ever be.
Pintard gets the ball from Grossman,
We have the winner of the 50-50
and it
raffle, so get your
is
tickets ready.
number
And
40,
the good
Chase
news is,
Webster,
it's a green ticket. I have a
coming
green
in
ticket.
for the Foresters.
red
He'll
ticket.
warm up.
Um,
We'll take a short break if
the
our
winner tonight gets,
fellow intern Cam Deck can get us a scouting report
I'm sorry, wait, I read that wrong. I'm sorry.
on his fellow Sun Devil. We'll come back and give that to you.
Typo.
But for now, we'll take a break.
All right, the winner of
We welcome you back, Chase Webster on the mound for the Foresters. He's the new pitcher, as Grossman couldn't get out of his only inning of work, only recording 1 out. The strikeout to Grant. Did Cam get back to us on a scouting report, Austin?
We did get a scouting report from Cam from Chase Webster. Webster normally sitting mid to low 90s with his fastball. Also has a changeup and a slider, but today only hitting the high 80s. Had a large role in the bullpen this season for the Sun Devils. Closed out a lot of games and one of the best bullpen arms for the Sun Devils this past spring.
Yeah, one of the more complex scouting reports we've gotten from Cam. I was just expecting he throws hard or doesn't throw hard. So it'll be Durfee, Daudet, and Glowacki to face the newly entered Webster.
Foresters really taking no chances, as before Webster even throws a pitch, another guy up in the bullpen for the Foresters looks like number 20, Grant Stevens, in the bullpen. So Webster will have a really short leash.
Yeah, Grossman only able to record 1 out coming into the start of this inning. He struck out. Gavin Grant looking on a controversial strike 3, and then he walked the next 2, and now he's obviously responsible for Carrillo and Radinsky on base.
Durfee 0 for 3 today. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Interesting decision going first pitch changeup out of the bullpen. And makes sense with Durfee looking at jump on the first pitch he sees, first fastball he sees. And he was well out in front on the off speed.
Webster comes set, fires. Ball was close. No call. 1-1. And we'll see how that pitch affects the at-bat.
Yeah.
Certainly very different going from 1-1 to 0-2.
I mean, Durfee knew right away it was going to be a ball. I mean, he's been behind the plate all day long, so he knows this umpire zone.
The pitch, low for ball 2. Durfee has his hands up, telling his Cal Lutheran teammate Carrillo to stay put at second. 2-1 to count. Oaks down 3. The tying run at the plate in the form of Brendan Durfee. A home run ties it, but you don't necessarily need a home run right now. Just keep this rally going. Webster set the 2-1. Fouled off. Strike 2.
Just missed that pitch.
Durfee hasn't quite gotten the timing down of the 3 pitchers he's faced today. But if he gets one ball in his wheelhouse, it can go a long way. Webster set the pitch. Durfee rolls over for a foul ball. Count remains at 2-2.
I'm honestly surprised because Tyler Glowacki, who's in the hole, is literally standing just like about 15 feet away from Zach Dode acting as a second on deck batter. I'm surprised the umpires haven't told him to get back in the dugout.
Glowacki just trying to get the timing of this pitcher down the best he can. Webster set the 2-2. Fouled off again. This is turning into quite a battle. A pivotal moment in this game. One of the Oaks' best hitters in Brendan Durfee up as the tying run. Oaks down 3. Looking to make this ball game even more interesting than it already is.
They got a hot bat too, and Zach Dode waiting on deck.
The 2-2 again. Ball chopped up the middle. Gonna be tough. He misses Radinsky, and Durfee beats it out as well.
Super speed.
Everybody is safe, and the bases are loaded for Zach Dode. He is the go-ahead run. Bases full of Oaks.
Nice little infield single. A little speed demon, Brendan Durfee.
Durfee taking the crown over as the fastest catcher on the roster. Check that. The fastest catcher between Colin Heineck and Brendan Durfee.
you forgot David Whittle was a catcher.
Forgot about David Whittle, and Sulak is way faster than both of them.
And Crandall probably is too.
Well. Durfee taking the crown as the 4th fastest catcher on the Oaks, beating that single out. First pitch to Dode is in the dirt, 1-0.
Dode's 0 for 2 at the plate today, but he has reached on a hit by a pitch.
Durfee's so fast, they're not going to pinch run for him.
Inside, ball 2.
And could you believe that the first hit we see since the 3rd inning is an infield single that Brendan Durfee hits?
I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
Dode ahead 2-0. Forrester's dugout. Blood pressure is pumping. Inside, ball 3. And as someone goes down towards the Forrester's bullpen to see if Stevens is ready, you'd think this could be the last batter for Webster, as Glowacki is up. Next, Stevens is a lefty. The 3-0 pitch in there for strike 1. 3-1 now the count.
Yeah, I don't know if there's the 3 batter minimum in the CCL like there is in the major leagues, because if that's the case, Webster has to face Glowacki too.
3-1. High and inside. They appeal. There is no way he went. They appeal. The first base umpire is looking at them. What are you looking at me for? That ball wasn't even close. Ball 4, a run scores. And a mound visit for the Foresters. A 5-3 ball game as Tyler Glowacki comes up. A base hit could tie the game.
Yeah, so it's gotta be the three batter minimum then if they're keeping Webster in the face, a lefty.
Stevens no longer throwing in the bullpen. Looks like he may be ready. They also could just be buying time for him as the umpire goes out and wants to get the show on the road.
Yeah, well, I think if Webster's done, then it would have been Pintard who comes out to talk to him and not Hubbard, the pitching coach. So a big spot here for Glowacki to wake things up and shake things up.
The first pitch to Tyler Glowacki. Outside, ball 1. Big spot here for the Oaks. The tying run in scoring position. The go-ahead run on first. Glowacki takes a hack, fouls it away. Count evens up at 1-1.
Glowacki just missed that one. Just barely got underneath it.
Again, very tense situation. Big game. This game has a big, tense atmosphere right now. The pitch. Strike 2. Catches the inside corner. Radinsky on third. Durfee on second. Dode on first. Webster set at the mound. The delivery just outside as the count evens up at 2-2.
And I don't think this is going to be Webster's final bat because Carliner's on deck, and I don't think they're bringing a lefty to face Carliner. So then after Carliner, then I think they'd bring in a lefty to face Brooks.
The pitch to Glowacki. Fouled away. And the count remains at 2-2.
Good hack there, the battle. 2 strikes.
Very big game. Everybody in attendance sitting on the edge of their seat. From our angle, it looks like the Oaks dugout is up. The Foresters dugout is up. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning as Glowacki goes down on strikes. And it will be up to Noah Carliner.
Now batting designated hitter number 31, Noah
To do some damage for the Oaks.
Big at bat here for Carliner.
Biggest at bat of the summer for Carliner here.
He got robbed of extra bases in his lone plate appearance today. So
Took a very good swing, hit it out in the gap. Stinson was able to run it down. Carliner takes a ball low for ball 1.
Good discipline to not swing and chase that one.
Carliner's a guy who exudes confidence in everything that he does. And in a situation like this, that's something that's really big for a hitter, and you can see it.
Good swing, but just late on it. As Carliner fouls it back. 1-1 the count. Webster set at the mound. The 1-1 pitch. Popped foul out of play. 1-2 now the count to Noah Carliner.
In this situation, you'd love to see Noah shorten up and try to stay short, drive something in the other way.
The pitch. Ball hit to the second baseman. He takes his time, throws on to first to retire the side. Oaks leave them loaded. They get 1 across, cut the lead down to 2, but that's got to hurt Oaks only have 3 outs remaining, and they got to shut down the Foresters in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back. We welcome you back. Bottom of the 8th. Oaks cut the lead down from 3 to 2. A new pitcher in for the Oaks, Charlie Adamson in, as well as some defensive changes. Scott Radinsky remains in the game and goes to right field, and Tyler Gannis moves from right field to first base.
Yeah, Adamson's been itching to get on the mound. He was supposed to come into the game on Tuesday against the Foresters, and there was a quick decision after Adamson was hot to bring Rinkover in to finish out that ball game, as Rinkover got the final 4 outs of the game, and Adamson didn't pitch yesterday against the Pirates. So good for him to come in here and get the outing. And there's a pinch hitter here. We have no clue who it is because there's no number 5 on the roster, but we'll try and figure it out. And by the way, my prediction was right. Radinsky and right. Gannis the first.
First pitch strike from Adamson to the mystery hitter, number 5 from the Foresters.
Oh, you know what? It's
Talk to me.
Strassner.
Austin
Strassner. He's wearing 5 tonight. I realize
Switch
I have
jerseys up on us.
he came in defensively for Cade Higgins, and they shifted around the infield a little bit. We saw
Swing and a miss,
Strassner.
strike 2.
Saw Strassner on Tuesday.
Yeah, he was the starting for them on Tuesday, starting shortstop, I believe.
Yeah. Yep, going over.
Adamson out of the wind. The 1-2 pitch, just low.
Good spot there from Adamson.
Wanted that call.
I wanted it too.
Ball was a little low, but that's a great pitch on a 1-2 count.
Yeah, Durfee receives it very well, too, to make it look even more appealing to the home plate umpire, but Adamson doesn't get the call.
The 2-2 from Adamson. Rolled over. Nobody's covering first. And we've seen it all night from the Oaks, no matter who's playing first. A ball that could have been made by Jack Brooks. He was over there. He was right behind Gannis, but Gannis couldn't make the play. And even if Gannis does field that cleanly, I don't think Charlie Adamson beats Streisner to the bag.
Yeah, the Oaks got to work on some PFPs because been very sloppy on those ground balls over to first base. But again,
that one
when can you work on
E3.
PFPs?
And I mean, again, it's a guy who doesn't normally play first, playing first right now. So
As Casper comes into the plate. Adamson looks over at Streisner. Fouled away.
Boy, fish.
Ball boy getting a workout tonight. A lot of balls that he's getting to. Adamson on the mound, taking his time. Looks at the runner at first. The leg kick, the pitch. Ball hit lazily into left field. That is well foul for strike number 2.
yeah, surprised Casper didn't call time there for how long it was taking Adamson to start delivering to the plate.
Yeah, those long breaks, you'll usually see a batter call time and reset. Not that time though. Adamson looks at the runner again. He takes a step back. Adamson, the leg kick to the mound. Ball in the dirt. Runner trying to advance, and he'll get there safely. Just got away from Brendan Durfee enough to advance on the ball in the dirt.
And Streisner's got wheels over there because that ball barely got away from Durfee. And Streisner got a great read on it, saw the downward angle, and was able to get to second in time, even with the cannon from Durf.
Yeah, that one just a little bit tough for Durfee to get to as it kicks off his inside part of his shin guard and trickles away there as he has to work his way around the batter and still try and fire that ball to second, which he did, but it was just a little tardy with Streisner's speed, as Josh mentioned.
Adamson set at the mound, looks at the runner at second. The 2-2 pitch, just got a piece of it fouled off.
Yeah, that was a battle pitch.
Yeah, I can't believe he touched that.
Spoiled a great pitch from Adamson there. Did Casper.
You hear the ball boy right there?
Making
He's
some
doing sound
effects.
effects now too?
I know, that's just how fast he is.
Oh. The 2-2 from Adamson. Well in the dirt. Great stop by Brendan
How
Durfee.
did Durfee stop that? Ball barely made it to the dirt.
That one probably hurt too. He literally stopped that one with his like forearm, I think.
Shaking out that wrist.
He's an absolute unit back there. The ball hit off him. You got to check on the baseball.
Makes sense why guys ask for him to be their catcher, because he does that.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you absolutely love that from your catcher, knowing that you can really overthrow a pitch and still not affect you that much, as your catcher has your back. The 3-2. Streisner goes. Ball is hit up in the air. Radinsky coming towards it. Makes the play. The runner retreats back to second for out number 1.
See another pinch hitter now is it's going to be Tanner Otremba, guy we talked about with Mark Trumbo last time.
For the Foresters, Forrest Stinson, sponsored by the Mesa Cafe. Let's stir it up for number
Otremba
44,
out of the
Tanner
University of Arizona,
Otremba.
as Josh Stinson's day is now over. Stinson made a very good play to rob Noah Carliner of extra bases by just tracking down a fly ball that we all thought was easily stolen. As the ball in the dirt, Durfee couldn't quite get a hold of it. Streisner steals third.
And Sam, you mentioned that play that Stinson made to take away the hit from Carliner, which is why I'm surprised to see this pinch hit move The Forcers are up 2 in the 8th. You'd expect them to put in their best defensive lineup. It's not like they're down 2 needing a jack to tie the ball game. You'd expect them to just have their best defenders out there, not really going for the big home run hit.
I'm not sure what that last pitch was ruled. The umpire put up his right hand, but he didn't make a strike call. And I think
believe it was
he ruled
called
it
a ball. I believe it was ruled a ball, although it was a good spot from Adamson.
Scoreboard has it as 2-0. Line drive into left field. Glowacki is there, and he has no chance to throw out Streisner. He's just simply too fast, and Glowacki was caught on his back foot. So the run the Oaks got in the top of the 8th. The Foresters answer back. It is back to a 3-run ball game as the pinch hit move to bring in Otremba works out perfectly for Coach Pintard, who is pulling out all the stops today for the Conejo Oaks.
Yeah, he really wants to beat us. Pintard just does not like the Oaks.
He's probably trying to get back after the embarrassment the Oaks put on them on Tuesday when they were getting shut out through 8 innings.
Heated rivalry.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is a heated rival with the Foresters.
Not everyone can give them a ball game, though, as the first pitch to Santos is high.
Yeah, Austin mentioned to us that a lot of teams have rivalries with the Foresters.
Ball fouled, out of play, 1-1 now the count. As that ball hit the taco truck back here, I believe.
Oh, that thing looks packed up. I was going to get something from it after the game. That's disappointing.
Didn't hear them say final call on the tacos?
No, I didn't.
Owen, run for your life as we hear as the ball goes in the dirt.
This guy's not prepared for after the game like you and I are, Sammy.
No.
What'd you guys get?
I packed me a homemade sandwich for after the game. I think Sammy still has sushi.
You didn't finish that sushi, Sammy?
A veteran move, getting 2 rolls, one for now, one for the pregame, and one for the bus ride home.
Too smart, man.
We've learned from Josh's mistakes here in Santa Barbara, but he still is not.
3-1 to count to Santos.
Oh,
As the umpire again puts his right arm up, but rules it a ball. Not a big fan of this move. I don't understand why he does it. Confuses me as Santos draws a walk. And Campbell is up for his 5th plate appearance of the day. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. Adamson goes back to first. Close play.
Yeah, I thought he got him.
It was definitely close, but Santos gets back there just in time, according to the first base umpire. Adamson again. Strike 1.
I'm really disappointed, Sammy. I went up to the taco truck last inning, and I was going to get something, and I decided to wait, and now it's closed. Wow.
Can't hesitate in big spots, Josh.
Nah, I choked.
0-1 from Adamson as Santos is on the move. Ball gets into center field. Carrillo backing up the throw, but does not have a play at third, as that'll be ruled an error on Durfee, which allows Santos to advance to third on the stolen base.
Yeah, that's a tough one, too, because if Durfee has that throw on target, Santos is gone, but he just bounced it in front of Brooks covering second, which allows Santos to now go to third.
Well, also
0-2 the count to Campbell. Adamson, no need to worry about the runner on third. Just focus on this batter as he fouls one out of play.
And the Oaks have just not been missing bats, as these Foresters hitters with 2 strikes have just continued to foul off pitches, and I'm Sure, Oaks pitching, it's got to be less than 5 strikeouts on the day.
Yeah, it's only 4 total strikeouts today. If I'm not mistaken, I think was it the Foresters we played at home when there was
Swing and a miss
like
by
14
Campbell, but
strikeouts?
Durfee cannot pick up the ball, and Santos, unfortunately, another bad break for the Oaks. As Campbell swung and missed, Adamson makes a good pitch, but the ball just broke too much, and it gets away from Durfee, and Campbell will advance on the drop third strike. Ball wasn't really dropped, but he'll remain safe at first, and another run will score for the Foresters. Bazell now at the plate, who broke the tie last inning in the 7th with an RBI double. He takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Adamson back to first. That ball gets away from Gannis, and Campbell will advance to second. Oaks having a tough time throwing the baseball around this inning.
Yeah, and this is definitely an inning that's going to just haunt the Oaks defensively. I'm sure it's going to haunt Durfee, as, you know, we talk about all the time how great his defensive efforts are. A couple ones from Adamson that he just haven't been able to get the perfect reading on, as, you know, the drop third strike. I'm sure that one's going to eat him up, as that's one I'm sure he thinks he should get to. And the Oaks is trying to get out of it now with limited damage down to 32 across this inning.
Seven runs on the board for the Foresters. As Adamson gets into the set, looks at Campbell at second. The pitch in there, strike 1. Bazell has been a thorn in the Oaks side today. 3 hits, 2 runs scored, and the big go-ahead double that made the game 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Adamson set. The pitch. High, ball 2. 2-1.
Yeah, and Vega and Adamson, it's just been tough for them. Like, seems like so many pitches, they're literally like centimeters away from them being strikes instead of balls tonight.
It's a game of inches.
Or centimeters.
Or centimeters. Campbell gets the lead at second. Adamson delivers. Ball is popped up. Grant calling for the ball, and he'll make the play, and the side is retired. 2 runs for the Foresters. We go to the 9th. Oaks trail 7-3. New pitcher in for the Foresters to close this ball game out. Number 20,
For the Oaks,
Grant
the second baseman,
Stevens.
number 33, Jack Brooks.
He'll be the new pitcher on the mound as he makes a little riding into the dirt, as some pitchers do before they start their outing. Jack Brooks leading off for the Oaks, followed by Tyler Gannis and Gavin Grant. The Ducks for the Oaks, as Brooks takes the first pitch high, ball one. Oaks not out of it by any means. You get a couple runners on, and you never know what can happen. As Brooks laces one into right field, that ball is fair. It gets to the wall. Brooks flying around first, and he'll get in there with a leadoff double.
Nice piece of hitting, Brooksy.
That baseball was pieced up from Jack Brooks.
So they bring in a lefty to face Brooks, and we've seen it from Brooks, lefty, just ambushing a lefty out of the lineup and hits a ball to the wall. Second time he's done that this week.
Lefty on lefty crime.
Brooks, of course, the right-handed thrower, hitting left-handed. As Tyler Gannis steps into the plate. Fouled away, strike one. Grant couldn't find that ball. Rolled all the way to the umpire, but Grant still
Victory is mine, brother.
had to touch that baseball.
7. Yep. And they're gone, dog.
Strike
I
one.
got you.
Strike one to Gannis. The 0-1. Gannis down the third base line. Going to be a tough play.
Catch up with him or he can't.
And Gannis. I was
He's
blocked
safe.
out by the
He was
pole. They
safe.
called-
Call him safe.
He is safe. So another two-hit game from Tyler Gannis. This one right at the buzzer. And like I said, Oak's not out of it yet. First two reach for Gavin Grant.
Shortstop, number 34,
And hopefully Gavin Grant can finally have something go his way. Been hitting the ball hard all summer long, but has not. The baseball gods have not looked down on him favorably,
Yeah,
as
and
they've taken away a lot of balls that should have been hits for him.
that ball was hit hard by Gannis, too. You know, it bounced 6 inches in front of home plate. He crushed that baseball.
The first pitch is high to Grant, ball one. Strike one, count now 1-1. Last inning, Grant struck out looking to begin the eighth on a ball he thought was outside, and that ball again, a call that he disagrees with, looked inside from our angle from how Grant reacted to it. But he gets strike two called on him, 1-2 the count. Ball is dropped. Both runners advance. Second and third now for Grant.
I don't know if that was Grant moving out of the way or Grant thinking that based on that being the exact location as the previous pitch that he was going to get rung up on strikes as he took one step towards the dugout, but it was dropped by the catcher.
He may have also just been getting out of the catcher's way in case he makes a throw down to third.
Well, usually you're taught to stand in the way. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that was from Grant.
2-2 to the count. Up and in, and the count goes full to Gavin Grant.
You know,
I mean, you don't want to be in the way because then if you're in the way and it hits you, then you're screwing your base runners.
you're helping your base runners. They don't
No,
get to throw over there.
Let him
Yeah.
throw the ball away. They were
Yeah,
in
but
there.
if they hit your batter, I'm saying.
The
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
payoff
If you're in the
pitch,
box, you're
the payoff pitch
part
to
of the
Grant.
play.
Swung on and missed. And that'll be the first out of the inning as Grant goes down on strikes for the third time tonight.
That's a really big out for the Foresters because the next three hitters for the Oaks have all hit a home run. And as I say that, it actually looks like they're pulling Brendan Durfee and throwing David Whittle in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, just so that they have a.
No, Whittle is on deck for Radinsky, as Radinsky went into Heineck's spot to pinch run last inning. Carrillo up for the Oaks. Durfee in the hole. Whittle on deck. First pitch in there for strike one. The 0-1 to Carrillo. Up and away. Count evens up at 1-1. The Oaks have not had many opportunities with runners in scoring position tonight, but they do not. They have one hit with runners in scoring position, but it did not drive in a run. It was Brendan Durfee's infield single. Tyler Gannis' RBI double drove in Brooks from first. And of course, Grant scored on the error. Ball in the dirt. Carrillo spits at that one. Count now at 3-1.
Yeah, good discipline here from Carrillo.
Yeah, it's been a good disciplined day for Carrillo. Close to drawing his third walk.
The 3-1 pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike two. Carrillo late on that fastball from Stevens. And another 3-2 pitch for the Oaks.
It's a huge pitch.
And there is action in the bullpen for the Foresters. Is this guy lightly throwing every once in a while.
The payoff pitch. High, and Carrillo will draw yet another walk. So once again, the bases are loaded for the Oaks, as David Whittle comes in to pinch hit for the pinch runner, Scott Radinsky.
We're going to see a mound visit now as Rick Hubbard's going to come talk to his pitcher again. He just looked down in the bullpen. I don't know if that was like start getting the guy going more in the bullpen, or like seeing, but now we'll see him go as Bill Pintard's walking down towards the bullpen to try and get the righty up and throwing. And I believe it's Jack Faraday who's in the bullpen right now for the Foresters.
Home plate umpire going to break up this meeting. Clearly just a tactic to get the bullpen going and going.
Yeah.
As when you see an umpire go out there to break it up, you usually see it get broken up right away, but they're taking their time.
Yeah, the Foresters coach is doing a great job of stalling. I mean, Stevens will for sure be out there for the next two hitters as the lefty Brendan Durfee waits on deck. So we'll see how much they can extend him after that, or if that's even the ball game. But they definitely have time to get the bullpen loose, as Stevens will get the next two guys for sure.
Whittle, the recent high school graduate, will be playing at San Diego State University this upcoming season. We've seen him come up big in situations like this. Let's see if he could do it again. He takes a first pitch strike, a little below the knees. He shakes his head. He doesn't like it. I don't like it either. And Whittle down to the count 0-1.
This is so tough for a guy coming off the bench where you've been sitting for 8 innings for 3 hours, and now all of a sudden you're thrown into the game in the biggest situation possible.
The 0-1. Same location. Actually a little bit more up. That one looked better than the first one, so it's 0-2 to Whittle.
Whittle's got to not play umpire here and just put the bat on anything close.
Stevens with the 0-2. Breaking ball, and Whittle does a good job of staying back just enough to foul it off.
Yeah, good win there from Whittle to stay alive.
He was way out in front of that ball, but was able to get a piece of it. Stevens comes home with another 0-2 pitch. Inside, ball one.
And Whittle jumping out of the way of that one. Had he stayed in there, most likely would have gotten him and would have gotten a run home.
The 1-2. Fouled away.
Good win.
As that one, I think it hit the either a I think
Hit
it
the light
light.
pole.
Did he
I
pull
think
a
it hit
Roy
the lights.
Hobbs?
Ball didn't quite go out, and it certainly wasn't a home run. So, no. To answer your question, Josh.
Yeah.
Whittle has fouled off two two-strike pitches. The 1-2. Looks like he went, and the first base umpire confirms, and Whittle goes down on strikes. Tough at bat for Whittle as he got behind on two pitches that he didn't agree with. Was able to fight off a couple of pitches, but wasn't able to lay off the breaking ball in the dirt, and the Oaks are down to their final out. Brendan Durfee up. Durfee once again the tying run.
He's definitely a guy that can tie it with one swing.
The first pitch, breaking ball misses down, ball one.
You could see Durf watch that pitch all the way in. And he followed it from belt high all the way into the bottom part of the plate and out of the zone.
Strike one to Durfee. I think that ball caught the outside corner.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Back-to-back breaking balls from Stevens. One going just below the zone, and this time he was able to get the corner.
Durfee obviously was not looking for that location. And now the 1-1 from Stevens. Lined into center field, base hit. No! A play made by the second baseman as he was in the outfield making the backhand play.
Oh my goodness, what a play.
I think that was a defensive replacement.
It was Straisner.
Straisner.
Straisner, who just came into the ball game. I think it was number 2, Ryan Charles. But either way, the Oaks go down. Tough ball game. Opportunities missed for the Oaks. They lose 7-3 as they will travel tomorrow as well against the San Luis Obispo Blues. For all of us here for the Oaks, Josh Mechanic, Austin Gregory, I'm Sammy Holiday. Good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.